Oops. Forgot to actually have it on the on the recording. Check one more thing here.
The council is organizing another
Good people, refrain from sin. Satan is going round our city, and the only defense is piety and virtue. Especially in these times, we have to heed the commandments.
Fountain?
Because there are monsters among
Where
us.
does the water come from?
Godless
Here,
swine
in the
in
middle of the
human
city.
form who can't wait till our city plunges into the flames of hell. And who am I talking about? You know them only too well. Like Satan himself, they
supposed to
lurk
be a
in their
threat?
hole. The foulest den of vice.
What did I do to you? That's right.
I tell you, and you dob me in.
Crazy? Why would I dob you in?
The fuck? He just disappeared out of nowhere.
What do you want here, you scoundrel?
Doors closing!
I'll be right with you.
Bier ist einfach. Was brauchst du? How can I?
Show me your way. I'd like to discuss.
Das könnte vielleicht. Sehr gut. I can agree to. Great. Happy to be a. I'll be keeping you.
Probably should find a place that can't last.
Well, do you have any news about what happened to Mandalina?
Oh, I hate it when I'm right. Instead of burying that fucking hag alive, they gave her house arrest somewhere in the countryside because they said her soul is ill. Oh!
Well, at least you won't hurt anybody anymore, right?
And how can you be so sure? What if it overwhelms her again? She grabs a knife and rips open some poor sleeping woman like a lamb!
I'm sure they'll hide the knife.
Damn it, Henry, don't be a fool.
Maybe you really should have. If I'd known before it would turn out the way it did, well, I suppose there's no justice in the world.
But there is, just not enough to go around. We have to take care of it ourselves and not leave it up to other people.
So for you, justice and revenge are one and the same?
The only justice I can rely on is when I take care of it myself. I can't expect it from others.
You can always find out where she is and go and set things straight, right?
That's true. I can, can't I?
I'd like to learn.
All right. I won't trouble myself with you for free.
I'd like to learn a few.
What would you like to know?
What a day that was.
My God!
poking
What's
around
taking
here
so
for?
long?
You never know who's listening.
But if we're all afraid, nothing's going to change.
Better to not go on about it. Things are never so bad that they couldn't get even worse.
Great.
I promise.
It's a
Have
deal.
it back this time next
Go ahead and tell
I'm not desperate, but you know how it is. It's easy to forget.
Believe me. It keeps me up at night. And I just can't give it back right now.
Greetings.
Look out!
Come and
What do
take
you
your
want
pick.
here?
We're closing. Last.
Oh nein.
Who are you?
Ich bin... And with whom do I have...
Henry.
Heinrich. Sehr schön. A famous German König once also bore that name. He contributed to the founding of the Heiliges Römisches Reich. A wise diplomat. Since you carry, you can prove you too possess the courage. And when you show me how you handle us,
I'd like to chat.
wunderbar. But the Schwerter will be blunt, yeah? We do not want to lose, aber kein Harnisch.
Sure.
How about
Vetter?
for some grosch?
Naturally.
Good. We have spoken enough. So, Heinrich, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Last chance.
Oh, Christ! Shit!
That's enough! You know full well you've no right to conduct the art of sword fighting here. That's the privilege of our brotherhood.
Halt die Klappe. I am Meister of Longsword. You well know this right we have from the charter of your King Wenzel himself.
Meister Menhart, let me remind you that your petition was discussed by the town council, and your claim was rejected.
That decision was not just, and it went against the will of your king.
It's no use arguing, Deutscher. The council represents the king, and the council has decided in his name. Nicholas of Prague here is also a master longswordsman, and we don't need another. Any more than we need your foreign poses.
Right then. So I will face your Nikolaus or any other man. We shall see then who is der wahre Meister and who is just full of hot air.
Well, I'm ready when you are, Master Menhart.
No, I forbid any dueling here.
Master Nicholas, do not allow yourself to be provoked by this German cock-baiting. No doubt where they come from, they would rather hack each other in the streets than respect law and order. But here, we have more sense and dignity. If anyone is to clash swords here, it will only be when our brotherhood convenes a tournament, not when some Hundsfott feels like it.
Fick dich, du Metzgerschwein. Enough of this, all of you! The council has decided this matter, and I won't waste any more time with your squabbling. You've infringed on our regulations, and it's not the first time. You'll pay a fine.
Scheiße. That is ungerecht. Not just.
And you will be banished from the town, so that nothing like this happens again.
Councillor, please don't be hasty in your decision. Meister Menhart here is a good friend of the Hungarian king, Sigismund.
Das stimmt.
I'm sure you know King Sigismund is hot-tempered. I wouldn't want to anger him by treating his friend like a common criminal.
I didn't know about that, Master...
Henry.
Henry. I can't deny you're right. I really wouldn't want to upset King Sigismund. You will not be banished from the town, but I warn you, should this be repeated again, it will not be overlooked.
Ich verstehe, Ratsherr. Yes.
Good. I'm pleased to hear it. Nevertheless, you have actually been conducting the art of sword fighting illicitly. You shall therefore pay a fine, to which the Kuttenberg Sword Fighting Brotherhood will be entitled for the infringement of their right, which also applies to your eloquent spokesman, Henry.
Councillor, that would be all well and good if things were as you say. That's not actually how it is. Because Meister Menhart here was not conducting any sword fighting art.
Horseshit! What else would you be meeting up here with swords for, eh?
If he had actually been conducting the art of sword fighting, but Master Menhart here was only defending his honor in a duel because I wronged him.
Ja, that is true.
Every man has the right to defend his honor. But tell me, how exactly did you offend Master Menhart so inexcusably that it came to swords?
I seduced his lovely daughter. I'm not going to tell you everything I did to her, though.
Du Tier! Ich werde deinen Schwanz abhacken!
Well, it seems Henry's tongue isn't the only organ he likes to exercise.
Yeah, that's what Ulrika said, too. In between moaning.
Halt die Klappe! I will cut off your Schwanz and shove it down your throat!
I understand, Menhart. You're in the right. Do what you want with Henry, but not here. Take him off somewhere into the woods, and afterwards make your peace with God.
Verstanden. Komm, Heinrich! We are lodging in the Schenkel Kaiser Karl, not far from here on Merchantstrasse. We will discuss our business there.
Ha! You can do nothing to us.
You could kiss my ass.
Count yourself lucky you had your pal here. Otherwise, we'd have dragged you out of town with our teeth. So you
Seize
have
that
a weapon
immediately.
Big deal.
You see?
That's right.
Didn't even hurt. Now you can leave that weapon where it belongs.
Don't you think I don't know who you are?
Get out of my sight! Be on your way.
I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Are you blind?
Sound as a bell. What did I do to you?
Milk and cheese here. Fresh milk. Goat cheese. Poor thing.
Davon hätte ich gern noch mehr, bitte.
Look here, Menhard.
Halt die Klappe! You will put your schmutzigen Hände on my little Ulrika? I will put you on a spike, du Tier!
Very droll, Menhard.
I do not find it drollig. Keineswegs.
I only said it so they'd get off our backs, you know.
Ich weiß. But you should have thought of something anderes. Zum Teufel, you made me a big shame. I will have to fix this for my good name.
Sorry. I just said the first thing that came into my mind.
Ja, aber do not do it again. Klar?
Klar.
Gut. Auf jeden Fall, thank you for standing up for us and dealing with Fridush. We appreciate that. Be assured. It is good we do not have to leave the town or pay any Geld to those fools. That would be eine Schande. A disgrace. Auf jeden Fall. It is not over yet with those Kuttenberger Fechter. We must somehow compete with them to preserve our honor and glory. It is not possible that a Meister such as I can be rejected and humiliated.
Richtig. Es muss Gerechtigkeit geben.
Listen, Menhard. Tell me what it's all about. You have some charter from King Wenceslas.
Ja, genau.
Actually, I'd be interested in knowing everything.
Of course. Hör mal. Your King Wenzel sent me the charter and invited me here to Kuttenberg to set up a Bruderschaft der Fechter. I should serve here for 3 Jahre and teach Fechter. Then I would choose a new Meister from among them who would take my place when I went back to Frankfurt.
That's interesting. Go on.
King Wenzel promised it would all be settled by the Kuttenberg Stadtrat. But before we got here, alles war anders. Ein neuer Stadtrat. Wenzel held captive and König Sigismund here with a big army. What is more, there was here already a Bruderschaft der Fechter. and Meister Nikolaus aus Prague came at the invitation of the Metzger Emmeram and other burger. Sigismund named a new Stadtrat, and they accepted Nikolaus and rejected our Charta. That is why I muss mich duellieren with Nikolaus and the anderen, to defend my guten Ruf and mein Recht. Aber they have refused, made cowardly excuses, and want to get rid of uns.
But our right remains. The Charta vom König Wenzel spricht klar.
Ja, we cannot just walk away and allow this öffentliche shame to continue.
Menhard, ich habe dis Idee. Aber Problem ist, we need a third man. Aber jetzt Schicksalsschmeiß upon us. Und Heinrich ist hier.
Verstanden.
Heinrich will greifen us an der Arme. Ein einfacher kleiner Einbruch and we will beat them in their own game.
What's he saying?
We need your help, Heinrich. You will have to do a little theft for us. It is an easy job, keine Sorge.
All right. I have a feeling you're in the right. And besides, you serve King Wenceslas. You can count on me.
Wunderbar.
Also zugestimmt? You will not be sorry. I will teach you many secrets of die Kunst des Schwertes. I will make you a great Fechter. Arne, lass es uns hören.
Also, es ist einfach. You must into der Fechthalle einbrechen und ihr Gildenschwert stehlen and then hang it am Rathaus.
Menhard?
Es ist so. You must break into their sword-fighting hall and steal their Gildenschwert. Guild sword. They must not see you. You can recognize the sword sicher. It is surely a Meisterwerk. Then you must hang it on the Rathaus for alle Bürger to see. But no one must see you. Vielleicht it is best to go at night? Verstehst du?
I'm starting to understand your plan. The Kuttenberg swordsmen display their guild sword on the town hall to announce that they're accepting challenges, right? Except they would never do that themselves. So, we'll give them a little nudge. They won't be able to back down, and Menhard will get the duel he wants.
Exactly, Heinrich. I see you know a lot about Fechter traditions. That makes me happy.
Where do I find that sword-fighting hall?
Natürlich hier in Kuttenberg, near the new gate. There, on the corner, is the Badehaus of Herr Adam. Die Fechthalle, the sword-fighting hall, is behind it, opposite the small Burg on the Burgenstraße. Hradek Quarter. Du wirst sie leicht finden. They have a shield hanging up, and you will hear the swords ring.
All right, I'll steal their guild and shirt and hang it on the town hall. Klar.
Wunderbar. The main thing is they must not see you. And if anything goes wrong, do not kill anyone. That would spoil our plan.
Yeah, murder can make things awkward.
Good. Agreed. When it is fertig, come and tell me.
What do you want?
What did I do to you?
Dave, that's enough of that.
You do remember the promise we made, don't you?
That voice one gift from heaven. Now they only ache when there's a storm coming.
That's handy, isn't it? At least you know when to round up the cattle and gather in the
Blood
hay.
vinegar! Aye. When I'm old and infirm, folks will come to me for the weather forecast.
I heard about about this fella who always got heartburn just before it snowed. You could team up.
All we need is a bloke who can't get it up when it's going to be sunny, and we'll be the three wise men.
Come again. Three cripples, more
If they find
like.
out that the king and his entire army have moved in.
God be with
Definitely.
you. Take care.
Those bored
Until we meet
soldiers would
again.
happily pay
I
to
wish
see
you
their
well.
tricks.
You remember that girl
who fixed a rope between the town
What are you
hall and the
talking
tavern,
around here
then
for?
walked across it? Ha, what a height!
Oh, please. I reckon I could do that. I like that dancing bear better.
It could hardly keep up with the piper, and it left half the square covered in shit.
No different from you when you get drunk at a dance.
While you're a saint, right?
Auf Wiedersehen.
I wish you well.
Good day to you.
And with you.
Oh, I've just got this nasty premonition.
Have to actually see where the hell I'm going. I wasn't even paying attention to the game for this whole, like, the past like 3 or 4 minutes.
Greetings.
Same to you.
Alright, safe bet this is all at the tailor. Well,
Greetings, friend.
Bread here. Rye bread doesn't spoil. Come and buy some good bread.
Greetings to you. Don't think I... don't know who you are.
okay, so wait till everyone goes to sleep and then proceed to start robbing everything. Because that's how I roll.
I better not forget about that council assembly.
Okay, I went through the box for nothing. So what am I looking for here? Oh, so my bad.
You should have a light.
Where is this council place, though? Like, that's something I'm not sure about. Might have to reload the save, assuming it even did save, because I don't even know where the fuck the last save was.
About in the dark, huh? You should have a light.
Yeah, I'm gonna reload the save. I'm hoping this doesn't regress me too much in time, because I didn't... Once again, I'm ignoring my fucking advice for quick saving over and over again.
Looks I got.
Alright, cool. This is more of a side thing. Although I could just go around instead of going through the front.
You're right. But I promised myself I wouldn't leave it.
I'll be keeping my eye.
I believe this... Yeah. I think that's the house. What the fuck is this, dude?
Huh? What? Fuck it.
I might have done this wrong. Is this not the house? I thought it was.
repairs to the fortifications.
Are they out of their bloody minds? They had 2 collections just like it already. And there are still more.
Not sure what building I'm in. Climb this guy and then I'm just gonna jump off the ledge. Then climb this and jump off this way, and I think this is the house. Maybe. We'll find out in a sec. Pretty sure if I go upstairs I will probably find this dude. I think this is it. Yep, this is the room for Dad and all that. No point in lockpicking that one. Oh shit, I missed the time thing. I got so focused on going into this house I completely forgot about the fucking merchant, so I'm gonna do some work in here real quick. I'm gonna handle my problem. The mom got away, but the son will not. Let's take care of this pretty quick. Wait, where is he? Oh, I forgot he leaves at like 10 to 11 to go to the other bar.
I better not forget about that council assembly.
Wait, hold on. Wait. I think I might have waited too long. I might actually need to reload the save again. Because I decided to go investigate in this guy's house, trying to see if I can find him.
What did I do to you?
Who am I looking for, though?
You again.
Are you blind?
Look out!
Hey, where's that beer?
I'll be keeping my eye.
Are you yanking my pizzle?
Are you blind?
It's like I'm in.
Because it's a rundown my own yard.
Yep, gotta reload the save.
I'll be keeping my eye on you.
Well, that explains
What did I
that.
do to you?
I'm already near that time, so maybe there was no point in me doing this, because I'm pretty sure if I go to where this location is, I'm still gonna be close to the end of the time. So maybe I have to wait a day. Because they're talking to me right when that time's even coming up, so it makes no fucking sense for me to even worry about this shit. At least from what I can tell. There's no point. It's way too damn close time-wise.
I know very well what you've done here.
What do you want?
I heard you're in need of money, friend.
Apples!
Young man, may I ask something of you?
Come and buy some apples!
The city council will be convening soon. I better get a move on.
What'll it be?
I'll have a look at...
Nothing suits your fancy, eh?
Greetings.
Pancakes, bread rolls, light and dark flour.
Do your shopping here. Look out!
What do you want, lad?
A wonderful day for a...
Strong rain, fine saddle.
Leave me alone, I ain't going to...
Let's make up. I hear one Franta cooldown is supposed to come and pick up new clothes from you.
Aye, the finest. I spent the best part of 2 weeks working on them, and damn near left my fingers on them as buttons. But it was worth it. With clothes like that, he wouldn't be...
As it happens, you hit the nail on the head. Would you sell those clothes to me?
For a start, I doubt they'd suit you. And besides, how would it look if I sold ordered goods to some stranger off the street?
Don't worry.
Well, that's a nice sum. I reckon it'll even compensate me for the trouble I'll have with this. I suppose I can tell Franta I made a mistake, and quickly start all over again.
Quality goods.
Don't be shy. Come closer. Fine dates. Fine wares. Come and take your pick. Sound of the bell.
A wonderful day for a wonderful purchase.
Muslan, Barchets, the strongest Barchet from Kashov.
Fine wares here. Quality merchandise.
What do you want here?
Die, broadcloth.
Assuming this place is still open tonight in the game, I will be coming back to steal more shit. Probably. Dude, just like...
The Lord sees you!
The best wares on the market. Come and take a look.
I probably should change my clothes to this ship, but also... Wait.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He's relaxing in the baths. And looking pretty satisfied there.
In the baths? But he has duties. He works here.
Well, not anymore, I reckon. He won a pile of coin at dice. And he said he's not going to move from there until he's tried out every wench at least twice.
When I get my hands on that boy, I'll rip him in two. Well, it's a good thing you're here, at least. We can't be without a waiter here when the king himself... So, have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in... You've got a waiter's cap. A tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it. Right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons.
There are the pictures of wine.
Our current Waffen
Hopefully I
arsenal
won't
is a
splash anyone's
joke.
shoes.
And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it.
Boy,
should
I'd like
the
some
town
white.
reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher.
Boy, are you deaf?
Hand cannon.
Why?
Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott.
Are you deaf?
It is eine Schande
Why?
when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell
Did I break something here too?
the deal?
What I smell
What am I
is
missing?
that short-stopping heads
I grabbed
do
the
not
picture, right?
realize
I grabbed the
what
correct picture.
Schwierigkeiten this is.
Careful!
The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter
But I
everywhere in
can't
the region.
use it?
We have the army bearing down, and
Look
you
out.
want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight?
Like fucking A.
The merciful
Hey,
King
waiter,
Sigismund is providing
pour me
us
some
with
monastery
protection.
wine.
Isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then?
Monastery
we're
wine,
sitting atop
here.
the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies.
Monastery
Nicht wahr?
wine,
We are
here.
more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him.
This
He'll
is
take the arming of the
unbelievable.
city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm
Pour
with his
me red
army.
wine. But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht.
Monastery wine here.
So,
Well, thank the Lord.
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
Waiter, get me white.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman
where's
named
my
Betty
wife?
has showed up on Hopbrink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed. It takes a firm hand, not soft, feminine
Hey, where's my
fingers.
white?
A moment ago, you were complaining there weren't enough baths. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend, bathhouse proprietor Adam. The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they
Is
can get
everything all
leeches
right?
there for
No,
free as well.
but there's nothing you can
while
do
he's
about
there,
it.
a man...
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
It's a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right.
You wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle. Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
Nice. Whose silver might this be?
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least
Waiter,
until His
pour me
Majesty
red
honors
wine.
us with his visit. And as we know, Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, monastery wine. I'm
Here.
not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Well, that's just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped
Waiter!
about it.
Pour me red wine.
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I fancy
I'm
some
sorry,
Tokai.
Andreas, but I
Refill,
wouldn't
boy.
brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
Well, I'm not keeping anything from you. But there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If you really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought
Waiter,
this custom
get
to
me
us.
white.
That German, Menhard, is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker.
Sir?
You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. I threw
Don't hang around me. Vanish, you hear me?
Not a shred of proof. We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So, you will just leave it be?
Hey, proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison.
Boy,
the guards are
come
apparently
here for a
settling
moment.
accounts their
Refill,
own way.
sir.
We'll
Do you think I
soon
come
be
to the council
laughing
just to
stock of
guzzle
the whole
wine?
town.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to... I can't.
So what if they have one more?
All right. I'll get them.
I knew I could while you... Because I'm bored.
Instantly at the Emperor Charles, and no...
So, let's...
I found your...
Really? And did you count those winged figures?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of...
I counted 20.
And you counted correct. Good.
Never get anywhere.
Here you are. So
I
you
just
can have a
guessed.
bit of fun in the evening too, eh?
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
I'll have a cup
Haven't
of
you
white.
noticed
There's a war going on?
Big one.
Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
About... Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith
Hey, boy.
dares to insult
Full
me?
cup of monastery
Ah,
wine.
I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you?
Sir?
I acquired my seat for the services our guild
Good.
provided
Now run
and
off.
still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopbrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been
Boy,
sorted
I'd like some
out.
white.
Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Sir?
Thank you, waiter. I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Juchek Össe, Alegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Udra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this man of false!
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malachov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
God grant you health, sir.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. and we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you looking for friends among us?
Let us say rather that we have chosen a side. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Henry's done a few things I'd like to give him a slap or two for. But like they say, to err is human. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Warring is even that gloomy captain knows that. What is it? Jesus. It's easy for him to rouse people to war when he has nothing to lose.
From what I heard, he's well prepared to help, even without an army. And with one, this fella could give the king a lot of trouble.
And who would entrust him with it? Without a coat of arms and a noble
glad you
Schön, dich zu sehen. Greetings to you, friend.
I'm wondering about something. So the game by default doesn't have the DLSS or anything enabled, or maybe it does. I forget. I disabled all that shit though. But I'm wondering if I turn this off. Not sure if this is a little excessive, because I feel like the sharpness thing just makes everything look like it's popping. I just turned off the other AA because it's like, what's the point of having the performance impact if you're having the AI, you know, based anti-aliasing.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais! Is poetry nothing but a farce to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
So, be so kind as to enlighten me.
When they broke through the defense, I ended up in captivity. It was only due to my acquaintances in a court that I escaped execution.
Oh. I thought it was Henry who saved your neck.
My neck was not at risk in Malashov. I may have still been a prisoner with my personal freedom restricted, but they never broke my spirit.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess. Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
I'm not going to die.
We'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths, and also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a
male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek. He's a great lord.
That's hard to believe.
Martin likes to exaggerate. He was talking about the sorry nags even when they belonged. Someone else.
Nags? What nags? These are the best thoroughbreds east of Prague.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I'll talk to you later, Father. This is important.
You're in my home, so you'll talk to me first. What is it you want?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you doing here?
We'll talk later and in private. Right now, we have more important things to attend to.
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough!
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. Not bad for a priest.
Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse!
Hey, who taught you that? Not bad for a priest.
You don't know which end of that thing is up! Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist!
Take! That was sneaky. Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Left arm lower!
Sacre! You're fast.
Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I could drive a cart through!
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. You could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Why? Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me and tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
And that's exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Burgers. Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you could...
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. Only in order to get them.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideal...
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? And he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a... Maybe it's...
I'll convey...
I don't care what the young lord thinks. If he agrees, the kingdom will not...
Hey,
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
With...
You arranged a marriage for my war...
With the niece of Sir Bushek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yidka.
Bushek of Kunstadt? The Bushek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parleying skills.
Davon hätte ich gern noch mehr.
That's the way it's bloody well done. Sir Bushek, your niece Yidka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed? Without reservations?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yidka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
God be with you, my friend.
I'll bet my last groschen he's setting the stage for his final performance. I hope there'll be no singing. I've had a few nightingales and they all screeched like the devil. Be careful with those groschen, my friend. Oh, nothing. An old greetings.
A little misunderstanding involving a big pile of counterfeit groschen.
How big a pile? Big enough for that bastard Ishtar to raise it all up. Tyrion Kossar.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you were in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on 2 fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Like my ward, who I can't leave unattended for a few days.
God bless.
Greetings.
That's exactly why we mustn't push too hard.
Burghers, patricians and usurers.
What are you skulking around?
Interesting.
Crook?
Wasn't it the lords that punched out who got the most out of it?
No, it was war back then. Now we're allies.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
My lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
I'm still hoping it works.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them? Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas!
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wencesla's side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslaus' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities. And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king. You did a good job, waiter. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
That Lord Constantine is minding a Lord Kirkstad.
The name is unpronounceable.
Must be made a new peace. Parish priest has quieted, sweating on the altar. Nearly drops his psalter. Alleluia, Domine. Alleluia, Domine.
The life returns to this country. Let's drink to King Wenceslas.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrows.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is. Give me a few more years and I'll become a professional mourner.
See now. I'll gladly drink to that with you. Only, there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
I'm filled with grief.
Himself.
Can't wait for that ginger.
It is going to take time.
Fuck off.
Strong words.
I won't. Who'd come here? What? I'm sure.
Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us. O Angel of Christ, Holy Guardian and Protector of my soul and body, forgive me every transgression which I have committed this day, and deliver me from every craft of my enemy and adversary. May I not anger my God by any sin. The Lord Almighty grant us a peaceful night and a perfect end. Amen.
Oh, yeah. Keep going.
So you keep saying.
I still can't wait for that ginger cup to finally fuck off.
Strong words. I thought your Alistair was brown-haired, though.
I'm filled with grief. Begging to be eaten.
subject, so you don't have to admit I'm right. Conrad, my friend, vouch for me.
It's all mine. Don't be a coward.
I wouldn't worry about it if I were you, my lady.
It's easy for you to say. You don't have to listen to it, day in, day out.
A little gossip. You act like you don't know.
Good evening, my esteemed lady. I haven't yet had the opportunity to make your acquaintance.
No matter. I know who you are. Although Martin hardly spoke of you, from what I heard, I could conjure up a pretty good picture.
No offense, ma'am. But whatever picture you paint of me, I have reason enough to believe it's mistaken.
Indeed. So the stories of how in your youth you used to drag a different chambermaid to your bed every night is nothing but slander?
And I also heard that you once fell drunk into the trench in front of the fortress, horse and all.
All right, I confess to that one. But nothing happened to either me or the horse.
And is it not true that one of your paramours made off with your late mother's jewelry?
We are all sinners, ma'am. And besides, that was 20 years ago. A person can change a lot in that time.
Unquestionably. My husband is living proof of it. No more than I.
Is your husband here too? I don't believe I've had the honor.
You won't find him here. He stayed at home in our fortress. He suffers from gout and doesn't like long journeys.
Or any journeys, for that matter. Even where the king goes on his own 2 feet, my husband has to be carried by 3 servants.
All his life he gorged himself on meat, pastries, and wine, and now he's paying for it.
Would you kindly introduce your 2 companions?
This is Lady Christina, second wife of Lord Binic of Norsteds. She's standing in for him here today.
Nice to meet you, sir.
How come your husband didn't come?
Because he's been rotting for nearly a year in the king's captivity.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mom. I pray that God shall return him to you soon.
I've been praying for it since the day I got word of his captivity. Perhaps worldly powers will come to our aid once the promised army turns up. One hopes.
It's rather noisy here, Mom. Don't you think?
It is, a bit. But that's all part of celebrations, and today we have cause for celebration, don't we?
Wouldn't you prefer a little privacy? I'll gladly escort you.
Restrain your ardor. You're not the first to try and lure my girls somewhere out of my sight. If you want to amuse yourself with them, I insist on being present, or you may be on your way.
But I had no wish to.
And while you're on your way, we're quite thirsty from all this constant chit-chat.
Do I look like a servant to you?
No, but surely you wouldn't leave these young ladies to suffer thirst. Be so kind and bring us another pitcher of wine. I don't know what's in those kegs, and I don't intend to try it out.
You don't need an expensive horse for battle. Just get one straight.
You're wrong. The battle, your life depends on your speed. Some easily spook opponents.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Ruthard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to this celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! Surviving Christian! Can't make it on his own! Shut your eyes out! Leave him alone! He nearly knocked his ball!
You led him on nicely. You're off.
Nicely done!
Not one step back! Stand your ground!
No mercy! Cover your head, damn it!
Good!
Have this for your effort!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker! Right! Drive those horses out!
He'll kill me!
You think you can scare me? Not a chance! Come to me, someone! I'm like a sieve!
More coming! Brace yourself!
I'm dead!
God!
Whoa, whoa.
Now I'll show you.
Good!
Go fuck yourself!
You got him!
You two!
Go look over there! You too!
Help me! He ordered me back! Keep it up! That one hit him!
Hardly one my hand before.
Fucking hell! He knows how to shoot. Die, fucker! Good hit!
You got him!
What's it to be? Keep it up! Are you gonna fight or drop dead?
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Oh, fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Oder and Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good luck.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghout took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
Markvart bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborsch in return.
When he sees what von Berghout did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
Well, are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, and get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey. Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know.
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Aulitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Waldstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit, it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
Tempest lost his life too.
How do you love his lordship now? And to us?
We have to take care of young Circus and hope his father comes back soon.
Yes. The best thing we can do is to keep doing our work.
What if the old lord doesn't come back?
Then we'll have a young one. He's not a little boy anymore. Soon he'll get married and have a bunch of children.
We can only hope.
Sit and stay.
Well, no.
Leave it alone.
The old lord doesn't come back.
Let's fight.
Look, I can't now, Henry. Stop by when I'm at the arena.
Good Samaritans you all are.
Very rude to ask for something to eat.
My thoughts exactly. The bodies outside are still warm, and you're thinking about food.
Would be an addition of conspiring to make a man hungry.
Tell me.
Ah, mon ami. After all, I thought... in a minute.
I'd like to learn...
Unfortunate...
Did I not tell you we should not come here?
You did. But I still exist. That it
Young Sir Christopher came out of it badly.
But he'll live, right?
He was covered in blood, but most of it probably wasn't.
Priest. That's true. We need to get you into safety. You're the Lord of Remorse.
will take care of her.
Just like it took care of me?
But he'll live, right?
He should. He was covered in blood, but most of it...
Peter of Pesach is our ally. He'll surely let you stay there, at least until you get back.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out, quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right away.
I'll be back soon.
Hurry up.
Should. He was covered in blood, of course.
What happened when von Berghoff...
It was a dreadful... It was a bit better in...
Did anything happen?
No. But it took... I was traveling with... They treated my...
What did they do with you?
Nothing much. They took care of my wounds, and then... But they treated me decently, as befits a noble. Von Berghoff came asking questions a couple of times, but that was about it. Only I almost went mad from being cramped in that damned room.
What was the problem with the room?
That I couldn't get out of there. You saw yourself when you came for me, didn't you? I was... It's just that since Nabokov, when they shot the tower right down on my head and I was stuck there... Actually, I never did. I always... I had a feeling the roof would fall on my head again and I'd be...
They didn't let you out at all? But you were in that room for ages.
No. They let us walk around the fortress a bit. We even went out for a ride twice, but most of the time we were in that room. Like I say, I'm really...
I understand. It's a bit awkward for you that the nobility lives in castles.
That's a fact. Once I get my hands on my estates, I'll build a new... And above all, no...
Great. I'm really looking forward to it.
You can be the castellan or something. I'll even have a forge built so you feel right at home.
What did von Berghoff want from you?
Just the usual courtesies. The captivity of nobles has to observe certain formalities, you know? It's not like they can just throw you in some hole. They behaved fairly respectfully, but of course he was fishing for information about Radzig and...
What did you tell him?
Nothing that he didn't already know. I played as dumb as the village idiot.
And did he swallow it?
I think he suspected I was bluffing a bit.
My word. But the main thing is...
Indeed.
What do you make of this Brabant?
He's unquestionably a remarkable... He rambles on a lot, though. Although it was otherwise, if a little...
I honestly can't... He's as full of tales as an old fishwife.
No one's... As for his constant chatter, you have to learn and ideally not get locked up. On the other hand, when Sigismund invaded, he could have easily just stepped aside and kept his nose out of it. Instead, he did the opposite. Give him a chance to prove himself.
No. I shouldn't leave now. That's bloody deep.
Crushed. Take care of young Sir Christopher.
We can go.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Alright, reality's calling, so I gotta close this out.